Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original Rebels Racing League.
Well, welcome everybody to Talladega Superspeedway. My name is Josh Hall. We're here with the original Rebels Racing League Sunday Night Truck Series here on iRacing from Talladega Superspeedway. We just saw a great finish in the Outlaw race and looking forward to this one as well. Sorry for the late start, but we're about to get qualifying underway. You see Zach Wettstein, our first truck to get out on track here for qualifying. While Zach's getting up to speed, let's take a look at our point standings coming into tonight. And Garrett Kinder is currently your points leader up on top over Aaron Adcock. You got Josh Lokovitz, Tracy Parsons, Josh Oswald, your top five. Brendan Wallace, Mickey Isaac, Joshua Smith, Tyler Rice, and Christian Denman round out your top 10, and the rest of the top 20 are on the screen for you to check out and see where your favorite driver is in the top 20 in points. Again, thanks for joining us, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Don't forget to drop a like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let us know who you're pulling for tonight. Let us know. what you think of tonight's race. So here's Zach Wetstein coming down the short to the tri-oval, and I know it's been beaten to death this week already, but the tri-oval, a little bit different, or the start finish line in a little different place than most tri-ovals. It's located at the end of the tri-oval, which allows for some great racing, some last minute passes like we saw in the Outlaw race tonight. So looking forward to seeing what kind of excitement that location of the start finish line brings here tonight, as we get ready to deal 60 laps here at Talladega Superspeedway. And myself, I love Talladega. I'm a bit of a Superspeedway fan myself, although if you did watch the race on Friday night in the ARCA series, I did Brad Keselowski the entire field and make a push where I shouldn't have, but hey, it was the last lap, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And thankfully, Joshua Smith did forgive me for that, and I know I caught some crap from it from the rest of the field that night, but here goes Zach as he was running that high lane on his first lap, trying to get that truck wound up as best he could. Now he's going to migrate down to that yellow line, trying to get the shortest way around this track to get the most speed out of the track. Paul, thank you for joining us here tonight. Paul Passon's joining us here at Talladega, and let us know who you're pulling for. We know who Paul's cheering on. We know he'll be cheering on Aaron Adcock and Tracy Passons. Tracy currently at the top of the board, but again, these guys run their first lap up against the wall, trying to get that truck wound out the best they can. These trucks have what's called a restrictor plate on them, which allows air to flow through the throttle body and reduces the horsepower. So it does take these trucks a little bit of time to get wound up and up to full speed. That's why we see these drivers taking that higher way around the track, try to get as much speed out of these trucks as they can, as Zach Wetstein's going to come across, get that checkered flag, and he's going to move up to 6th position. See who else is on track, as we're talking about Josh Smith running that high line right now, getting that truck wound up. And Josh Smith, a great super speedway racer, as I learned in the ARCA series this past week. I was trying to push him to a victory, and again, may have turned him around in front of the entire field, but you know, those things happen, especially at super speedways, and I'm sure we'll see something like that again tonight, as pushing is going to be a huge thing. A draft is going to be a huge thing. These trucks need help in order to make moves forward, and one word that's going to be the buzzword of the night is going to be energy, and that's which lane is moving. Sometimes you'll see these lines of trucks lined up, and one lane will start moving, one lane will start falling back, and we'll be able to see that all night long. Kevin Kinder, good to see you up on the broadcast as well, as Josh Smith running that high line for both of his laps here. I don't know I don't know if he just forgot what lap he was on or what, but he's coming to the checkered flag, and he's running all the way up against the wall here. So he's going to come across the line. And he's going to be up into the 17th position. Oh, no, that was his outlap. I forgot. So the way my timing and scoring looks, it looked like he was starting up his third lap here. But because they do cross the start-finish line on their outlap, it does count it as a lap on my timing and scoring. So Josh Smith now out on his white flag lap, run that lower line, trying to get his way around the track and get as much speed out of that truck as he can. As Smith comes down through the tri-oval and to the start-finish line, and Josh Smith is going to move himself up into the 8th position. Couple drivers moving around here. Aaron Adcock moving down to the low lane, trying to get his fastest lap here. And see him hugging that yellow line all the way down as we take a look here from our drone. Trying to get that Poman Motorsport truck up towards the front. And Aaron's actually going to pull off here, so he's going to stay in the 14th position. See Gary Wright getting ready to cross the line here for his time. See where this is going to put him. Move Gary Wright up into the 14th position. Few drivers have not qualified yet. Chris Heiner, Mike Veith, Kernan Church, Josh Oswald, Charles Stevens, Alex Veith, Josh Lokenvitz, Spencer Gay. We know Lokenvitz is a bit of a super speedway master himself. Was crowned super speedway king a couple seasons ago, and maybe he's going to hang in the back tonight and try to move himself towards the front. Charles Stevens says hello. Hello, Charles. Good to see you here on the broadcast. As we've got about just over 2.5 minutes before we get green flag racing here at Talladega. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Original Rebels Racing League website at ORRleague.com. I did leave a link down in the description below for all things Original Rebels. You can check them out there at ORRleague.com. And of course, don't forget to check out our web store, IntensityBroadcasting.com, where you can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, stickers for not just Intensity Broadcasting, but all your favorite leagues as well. Also, the winner of every championship of a league broadcast here on Intensity Broadcasting will get a free piece of swag. So, I know Josh Smith already has one as well. So, Josh Lokenvitz, Josh Oswald, that's the one. There's a lot of Joshes around here. Josh Oswald won the Thunderstruck Series, and he's going to be getting a sweet piece of swag. And anybody who wins any other championships here on Intensity Broadcasting will get one as well. So, a couple things up in the chat here. T. Rice says good luck to the Oval Addict fellas. Wish I was able to be out there with them tonight. T. Rice, Tyler, wish you were out here running with them as well. I know Talladega is a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing you back next week. We got about a minute left here in qualifying before we get racing underway. Again, I know Eddie Smith beat it to death the last couple races, but don't forget that start-finish line being where it is, just past that Trialville, is going to make for some great racing. It already reared its ugly head there in the last race, as we saw Michael Swink get the lead, starting back in the inside of the second row, made the big pass on the outside to get the win with a big push from Jamie Mullins. We saw a lot of excitement there in that last race, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more here in this race. That race had 5 cautions, and that's just the name of the beast here at Talladega. We're either going to go caution-free, maybe have 1 caution, we might have 5 or 6, but one thing is for certain, of those cautions, we are going to have what we like to call the big one. These drivers will be running tightly, in tight packs all the way around the track, and that's going to mean that if one truck gets in trouble, it can cause the entire field to get in trouble. So we'll keep an eye on that all race long. Ratchet Miller says, howdy, let's do some racing. We're getting ready to do some racing as we take a look at our starting lineup. Let me get my sponsors up on the screen here. I thought I had them, but I did not. Your starting lineup is brought to you by BK Motorsports, and your Peg Leg Felts Pole Award will go to the 53 of Tracy Passons. Kyle Roberts in the 35, who had a great run in the ARCA Series. He's going to be rolling off in second. Tia Swank and Cody Bohm, they're going to round out row number 2. Row 3 will find the 84 Jesse Necula and the 13 of Garrett Kinder, followed by Kenneth Farmer and Josh Smith in row number 4. Row 5 will find Jason Lottridge rolling off in the 9th spot with Zach Wedstein in the 10th position in that 4 machine. 11th will be Sam Wedstein with the 77 of Mike Uribe rolling off in 12th. 13th will be William Griffith and Gary Wright in the 11 machine. Mickey Isaac, he'll be rolling off 15th with Aaron Adcock in the 16th position. Then Brandon Wallace in 17th and Christian Dedman rolling off in 18th. Your 10th row will be Charlie Elmore and Brent Grutwald. 21st, we'll find Kernan Church and Joaquin Meza back in 22nd. Then Josh Oswald rolling off in the 23rd spot with Charles Stevens in 24th. Alex Veith in 25th. Josh Loganvitz back in 26th. Mike Veith in 27th. Sorry, Christopher Heiner in 27th. Mike Veith in 28th. And then rounding out the field here tonight, in the 29th spot, Spencer Gay. Ratchet Miller already rooting for that 13 truck as we get ready to do battle here at Talladega Superspeedway, the longest oval on the NASCAR series, at just over 2.5 miles, at 2.66 miles long. They say the track is cursed. It was built on an Indian burial ground, and that's why weird stuff happens at this track. And we've seen it time and time again in real life. Just some interesting things, some weird things happening. Remember Mark Martin warming up his tires at the beginning of the race, locking his steering, crashing into the car to the outside of him as he was on the pole. So anything can happen here at Talladega. We're going to see that here tonight. And again, I know Eddie Smith educated you guys all on where that start-finish line is located here at Talladega. So here we go. The field is making their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace truck is going to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. And then we're going to have a long wait as these trucks make their way down to that starting zone with Tracy Pastons on the inside, Kyle Roberts on the outside. We know Friday night, Kyle Roberts said the secret to success here at Talladega was being 8 beers deep. We'll have to see what he's able to do here on the outside on this start. Pace truck makes its way on the pit road. And here we go. Green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Talladega. And Tracy Pastons gets the great jump on that low side. Here comes Kyle Roberts with a little push here from Cody Bohm up on the high side. And that's what we're going to see here tonight. We're going to see these drivers working with each other, trying to get themselves up to the front. Garrett Kinner's got a hole. He's going to move himself down to the bottom as they make their way down the backstretch for the first time. And these trucks are really unstable in traffic. We'll see a lot of movement out of these trucks all night long as Kyle Roberts gets the push. He's going to dump Cody Bohm on the high side, move himself down onto the bottom, and take the lead as they come off of turn number 4. So move Kyle Roberts up in front of Tracy Pastons on that bottom side. That low lane looks like it's starting to get formed up a little bit better than that high lane right now, although the 47 of Josh Smith is trying to give a big push to Cody Bohm. And already we see some 3-wide racing. It looks like, I'm not sure who that is back there. I think it might be Tia Swank. Nope, that's Aaron Adcock up on the high side trying to make it 3-wide. Tucks back in line though, and Aaron Adcock already trying to move up into that third lane. He's got a little bit of help behind him as well. It's like the 48 of Jason Lottridge trying to help him. We saw Jason Lottridge on Friday, not afraid to jump up into that third lane. Nope, that's Charlie Elmore up there. Excuse me. So Charlie Elmore and Aaron Adcock trying to make something happen up on that third lane as they make their way off of turn number 4. Kyle Roberts continues to lead, but that top line now with Cody Bohm starting to make some moves, starting to get some energy together. They're much tightly packed in that middle lane than they are on the bottom. You can see the gap between Tia Swank and Tracy Passions, and that's allowing that high lane. You see Zach and Sam Wetstein starting to line up here, and that middle lane, what is going to be the middle lane now, starting to get the energy. Oh, Garrett Kinder pulls way down onto the bottom. He sees the mess coming. He's going to drop to the back because you kind of got to be there at the end to make it happen, and he's going to drop all the way to the back of the field. See another truck also driving down to the bottom, dropping back. I believe that was Josh Oswald. So a couple drivers not liking what they're seeing right now. They're going to drop back into the tail of the field. Which here at Talladega is not a bad move. You know, you can easily get yourself back up to the front if you've got some help, as we see Cody Bohm now trying to take the lead away from Kyle Roberts, and that high lane starting to get that energy. You can see those two lanes pretty much evened out now. The fourth truck in line, both separated on both lanes, and that's going to allow that third lane to start easing up here as well, as they're starting to get a really big pull on that high side. These trucks push a wake. Think of a wake coming off these like the water, and as the further back you go, the bigger that wake is, and that allows these trucks to get a big run up on that high side. It pushes a lot of air, and the more air that is pushed from those front two rows, that's going to allow that third lane to start making some moves here, and you're seeing that right now as Aaron Adcock almost pulling even with Kyle Roberts and Cody Bohm. Oh, Zach Wetstein having some connection issues, but that's really gonna slow down that middle lane and allow the energy to come up to the high side. We see Josh Lokenvitz up there on the high side as well, and looks like 01 and Mickey Isaac coming up there as well. Ratchet says wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yeah, these trucks do move around quite a bit through the traffic here, and let's see if we can ride along with Mike Uribe here. You don't see this on the TV as much as you do riding along with these trucks, but these trucks do move quite a bit. And that's just the air coming off these trucks. These trucks push a really big hole in the air. And as you go through the pack, you see Josh Lokenvitz up here getting a little out of shape. And mostly because where he's at, he has no air on the front end of that truck, and it can make things a little tight here. Let's see the speeds. Let's throw up the speed there. We're seeing 180, 190. These trucks will reach about 190, 193 miles an hour in the draft. Let's take a look at Kyle Roberts as Josh Smith now challenging for the lead on the bottom. So Kyle Roberts got pushed out of line. And you can see Kyle Roberts down on that bottom lane a couple rows back. You can see the speeds approaching 183 miles an hour as they come across the start-finish line. So these trucks are not as aerodynamic as the cars are. And now Zach Wetstein peeking his way up into the lead. So, oh, we got trucks making their way down to the bottom. So a couple drivers, again, just not liking what they're seeing early in this run. And they're going to duck out and get themselves out of the mess as Aaron Adcock now takes over the lead. With Charlie Elmore up to the high side, with Josh Lokenvitz pulling out, pushing Elmore. So side-by-side racing for the lead as they come across the start-finish line. And being that truck that's pushing, the biggest concern that pushing truck has is number one, making sure that he pushes square on the back bumper. You see Zach Wetstein kind of getting a little bit to the right side. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you bump these trucks square. And you can push. That's the thing. People, there's an art to this. you want to be right on that back bumper. You want to be able to roll up to that truck in front of you and give them a push. You don't want to slam into the back of them. You just want to roll up and push. And once you can get locked bumpers, you can make some speed, as we see Josh Lokovitz giving a big push to Charlie Elmore here. You don't want to really push in the corner. If you're connected to the truck, as Elmore's going to work himself down to the bottom, if those bumpers are locked and connected, you can stay connected all the way through the corner. But if you're not connected and you bump just the wrong way, that can really upset that truck in front of you and send them around. Josh Lokovitz and Mickey Isaac up on that high side, starting to get the run, and the one of Christopher Heiner coming as well. But now the energy switches back down to the bottom, as here comes Charlie Elmore with a push from Aaron Adcock. Zach Wetstein back there as well. And that third car, all he wants to do is just ride off the back bumper. There's a bubble of air between the truck and the front bumper. And if you can just kind of keep in that bubble of air, you can keep that line moving forward. Again, if you push the pusher, that can really upset that middle truck. So there's, like I said, kind of an art. You kind of got to play chess when you're driving at a super speedway. Kind of looking 2 to 3 moves in front of you. How about this? Alex Veith making some moves up 17 positions, up into the 9th position. William Griffith up into the 8th position as well. So a couple really big movers. Josh Lokovitz, your biggest mover, currently up 24 positions as he's trying to take the lead away from Charlie Elmore on the bottom. Our leader up 17 positions. So both our front 2 trucks there up more than 15 positions here as we work lap 11 of 60. Another tough thing that you're going to see here at Talladega is green flag pit stops. You have to get from 180 miles an hour down to 55. Pit road speed limit is 55 here. So it makes it very tough for these drivers to get down to pit road speed. Fortunately, tires do not mean as much here as you would see at other tracks. So some of these drivers may take 2 tires, some of them may take no tires and fuel only. So we'll have to see how these strategies roll out as Josh Lokovitz, Mickey Isaac, a little sideways there as he pushes Josh Lokovitz up to the front. Now that energy is going to fall back up to that high side because Josh Lokovitz is going to check up that entire bottom line. It's going to accordion effect. And now you see the one of Christopher Heiner giving the big push to Mickey Isaac. And because that's happening, that's allowing that top lane to get the momentum. Here comes the 51 of Alex Veith trying to come up there. Sam Wetstein, big wiggle out of the 98 machine. Able to hold on to it, and great save. Normally when that truck gets out of shape that much, you can get yourself into trouble. And now Mickey Isaac going to take the lead here as they make their way through the tri-oval and approach the start-finish line. Way back in the pack, you can see this group back here just kind of minding their time. You see Garrett Kinder kind of running off the back bumper of Josh Oswald. Oswald with a big separation there. And you can see all these drivers, see all the Reaper drivers back here. Garrett Kinder, Christian Dedman, Kyle Roberts, Brandon Wallace. So all the Reaper drivers, that's what they're doing right now, is spending their time at the back while these guys are mixing it up front. That's just going to allow them, in case there is a big wreck, more time to avoid it. So look off the back bumper of Josh Lokovitz. You see what I mean? You really don't want to push the pusher, but if we look off the back bumper of Mickey Isaac, you can see Josh Lokovitz coming right up and giving the big push. Pushes right into the back bumper here, so Great job for these drivers here as they make their way. Looks like the energy is starting to fade on that high line. You see that high line is not pushing as hard as they were earlier, starting to spread out a little bit. See Aaron Adcock tucking down below that yellow line, just kind of seeing what's going on in front of him. And he could be running a little hot too. When you're tucked up behind a truck like that, you don't have any air going through that radiator. And that can cause that truck to overheat. So these guys are constantly looking out their windshield, looking in their mirror, looking at their gauges, making sure everything looks copacetic. Especially your gauges being that driver in front. I know we can't see live temperatures or anything like that, but if we ride along here in the cockpit of Josh Lokovich, you can see those gauges right now. And as the temperature rises, those gauges will actually start turning and flashing red, telling the driver that they're starting to overheat. And that's the only thing that these drivers have to tell them that they got to back out of it or blow a motor. It looks like the one of Christopher Heiner up there, he's got Alex Veith now giving him the shove. As I say that, Alex Veith falls off just a little bit, and it looks like that top line again starting to break up just a little bit. Further back in the field, we can see everybody single file and spread out, just kind of biding their time. For these drivers back here, though, they're able to save a bit of fuel. They don't have to run full throttle like they do up front, so that's allowing these drivers to save a bit of fuel and maybe stretch it a little bit further than everybody else. But here comes that top line again. We see Alex Veith trying to get to the back bumper of Christopher Heiner, trying to move that top line forward. I also see those brightly painted trucks, Joaquin Meza, Jesse Necula. I believe that's Josh Smith, yep, up there in those bright day-glow colored trucks. Trying to work themselves back up to the front as well. So we're working lap number 19 of 60. Green flag pit stops will probably be coming up in the next couple laps as we see this Dayglow trucks move up to the high line, trying to run that third lane. Sharpie yellow, that's another good color to color. Safety orange, sorry, safety vest green. As Joaquin Meza tries to make that high lane work with Jesse Necula and Josh Smith. Now they're starting to make it work. Those three trucks on the high side are going to run better than those two in the middle. Here comes Griff now. Seth Griffith trying to get them way up in there as well. Now he's going to jump up to the high side with a big run. But with no help behind him, he's going to have to tuck back in line. He thought about tucking down in front of Joaquin, but that big run that was coming from behind, he thought better of it. So now he's going to get freight trained up on that high side. And we see Alex Veith now still trying to push that one of Christopher Heiner, but just not able to make anything happen. We are a third of the way through the race. Mickey Isaac continuing to lead over Josh Lokovitz and Charlie Elmore, but things are going to heat up as we have pit stops getting ready to come underway. Also, that big one is looming in the distance as well. That could really tighten up this field as well. So we're watching. Make sure nobody makes any mistakes, and that's why you see these drivers towards the back of the pack. That's exactly what they're doing, is they're just trying to avoid you see that big long line of trucks. They're just doing everything they can to avoid any kind of mistake and any big crash that could happen up here towards the front. Great view here. It really shows that momentum that that 1 and that 51 are getting up on that high side. That big push as they're trying to propel themselves forward up to the front here. Trying to get around Mickey Isaac and Josh Lokovitz. Josh Lokovitz, now he's going to roll back to the back bumper of the 01 of Mickey Isaac. And he's going to try to shove that bottom lane back by. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, little side draft you see out of the one of Christopher Heiner. And the way the side draft works is if you can get alongside a truck there and you can put your front bumper, as you see Lokovitz move up to the front here. So the idea of the side draft is here, you see Christopher Heiner, he's going to get right, oh, big bump from Alex Veith, getting that one truck out of shape. But if you can get right to the quarter panel, the left rear wheel of the driver to your inside, you actually will start dumping air on that spoiler of that driver, and it'll slow that truck down. And as you get side by side, you want to pull back away from that driver so that you don't have the same effect happen to you where they're dumping air onto your spoiler. So it's kind of an art form in itself, the side draft. We see guys who are very successful here at Superspeedways be able to pull it off, as we saw Josh Lokovitz use a little side draft to pull that top lane backwards and use their momentum to get himself up to the lead. Try to find a good view here of what's going on as we ride along with Jesse Necula here. And again, you can see just how much these trucks really move around here. And it's easy to get yourself in trouble if you're following that truck in front of you and he moves down and you just try to follow him, not realizing that you're not clear. That can cause some issues, and we've seen that in the past. And sometimes you're just so focused out that front window that you're not paying attention to what's going on below you. As as we're getting ready to cross the line here to complete lap number 25. So far, green flag racing from the start. As the 01 of Mickey Isaac continues to push Josh Lokovitz up here at the front. And usually Mickey's not someone we talk about right away. Usually we talk about him more towards the end of the race, but tonight he wants to get himself up front and stay up front as he's giving a big shove to Josh Lokovitz. But that's another thing you don't want to do. You see how big of a gap there is now between Mickey Isaac and Charlie Elmore. That's going to allow Elmore to get a good run here. And him and Aaron Adcock could take advantage of that and push themselves up to the outside to get a good run here and try to take over the lead. Ooh, a couple of trucks loose through the tri-oval, and there is a really big bump there as you come through the tri-oval. It's really easy to get your truck out of shape as you get through the tri-oval. As we see drivers starting to make their way, migrate down through that low side, and what that tells me is we are just a few laps away from some green flag pit stops. There's the one. Now he's going to tuck himself in line. See Mickey Isaac kind of running a little off to the side there, trying to get some air to the front bumper to try to cool that truck off. And again, we see everybody kind of migrating to the bottom. We see Mickey Isaac giving a big push to Lokovitz. So that's going to tell me right now that I imagine these guys will probably be pitting in the next lap or two. See the entire field getting a single file. Again, these drivers are going to have to slow down from 185 miles an hour down to just 55 to get service done on their trucks. They come off of turn number 4. No takers on the pit road this time. Logan Fouts cheering on the 01 of Mickey Isaac on Facebook. Thank you for joining in and tuning in here to the Original Rebels Racing League on Intensity Broadcasting. And that's the other thing you don't want to do. You want to pit here as a group. You don't want to pit alone, because once you lose that draft, once you lose that pack of trucks, you're just a sitting duck, and a driver by themselves will be significantly slower than a driver in the pack like this. We saw the qualifying speeds, almost 56 seconds. Right now, these guys are running 52-second laps, so getting out of the pack by yourself can get you in a lot of trouble. I believe these guys are pretty much trying to get themselves to halfway. We do see Griff out there by himself up on the high side, the only truck up on the high side, trying to make something happen. Don't speed, don't miss your pit. Kevin, you couldn't speak truer words, and that's a real thing here. That's easy to do, especially if you're trying to get in, get everything you can. Another common thing you see here is drivers locking up the rear wheels, trying to get too much brake into the truck, trying to get it slowed down. I know it's a real balance to run front or rear brake here. A lot of these guys do run a little bit more rear brake than they do front brake. Running too much front brake, you'll lock up those front tires and you'll just slide. Run too much rear brake and you chance spinning the truck around coming into the pits. And a bunch of trucks hit pit road, so we see the back half of the field hitting pit road. Oh, we got trouble on pit lane. One truck around on pit lane. That is I believe that's Jason Lottridge spun around on pit road. See if we can see what happened to these drivers as they were coming on to pit road here. See Garrett Kinder down on the bottom. Kyle Roberts, Josh Oswald. Oh, some contact is what spun Lottridge around and makes hard contact with that inside wall, but so they are down and away as our second pack of trucks, led by Josh Lokovitz, comes on pit road. Josh Lokovitz, Mickey Isaac, Griff, Aaron Adcock, Chris Heiner, Gary Wright, Mike and Alex Veith all on pit road. So that's going to give the lead to Zach Wetstein. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the logos off. I'm going to put up the track map so we can see where every group of trucks are and where they're coming off out onto the track. As I imagine this group of trucks is probably going to pit this time. Yep, here they come. The rest of the field all coming on to pit road. Everybody able to get on safely as we see this group of trucks just coming off pit road. They have to stay down below that yellow line until they pass that blue cone. Now the speed difference is what you're going to see is right now Josh Lokovitz top speed about 165 miles an hour. This group of trucks led by Josh Oswald already back up to full speed. And that second group in a much better, you can see how much tighter that second line is that's catching that first group as the third group now making their way off pit road. And you can see Josh Oswald moving up to the high side. See the 23 of Aaron Adcock throwing a big block. This is going to get interesting as Aaron Adcock is much slower than that 17 machine. And now we got three wide as the one makes his way around Zach Wetstein. And he's going to tuck back in line. Here comes Sam Wetstein down on the bottom trying to catch back up to Zach to try to help that bottom lane. And we see the lap truck of Brandon Wallace. The leaders are approaching. Oh, we got one up in the wall. No harm, no foul as the field is going by the lap truck. Well, that's not Brandon Wallace. That is Cody Bohm. Getting put a lap down currently and sticking down on the low side, forcing the field to go around him. Now he's going to be able to catch speed here and stay as Garrett Kinder up on that high side. Give it a big push. Now Aaron Adcock, and that we almost just saw it. That 17 saw the 23 go down to the bottom, and he almost cut across the nose of Josh Lokovitz. As now Garrett Kinder is up on that high side. You see a couple trucks in trouble that lost the draft. And now the field is back to three wide racing. Well, that looks like Garrett Kinder. I believe that's the 35 of Kyle. Yep, 35 of Kyle Roberts up on that high side. They have Spencer Gay who's trying to work with him, but just not close enough to try to make that third lane move. In the middle, Josh Oswald is the leader in that middle lane, getting a big push from Zach Wetstein as he's moving right to left off the front bumper. Aaron Adcock falling back into the third position, but now that bottom lane starting to make some moves as Garrett Kinder's now got some help. He's got Kyle Roberts and that entire Dayglow team up on that high side. And we could see the momentum shift here as that middle lane only has three trucks. That top lane has a lot more. And the more trucks that are in a line, you'll see that line start to move. As we have just 25 laps to go here to settle it at Talladega. Now we see that Dayglow team kind of move down to the middle lane. Zach giving a big push to the Jet as they make their way down the backstretch. Oh, big wiggle on the 17. Josh Lokovitz all over the back bumper. Oh, they make contact. Zach makes some contact. Zach is around off the front bumper of Sam Wetstein. Big wreck here in turn number 3. That's going to bring out our first caution here. That's going to be our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. I set up a good camera here so we can see exactly what happened here. I'll take a look here from the blimp. You see a little contact between the 79 and the 4. That sends the 79, that sends the 4 up the track, almost into Garrett Kinder. He gathers it up, but makes contact with the 98. Down into the 01 of Mickey Isaac, the 1 of Christopher Heiner involved. You see the 84 Jesse Necula, Josh Smith, Joaquin Meza, just nowheres to go as the track gets blocked. And then the track is clear by the time Tracy Passions makes their way up there. So just nothing that you can really do. We'll ride along here with Sam Wetstein so we can see just how quickly this happened and how little time Sam had to react. We'll do this in real time too. Find the off the gearbox of the 4 here. Again, just nothing you can do in that situation. It's a helpless feeling. So Josh Oswald will be your leader. Garrett Kinder moves up into second. Then William Griffith, Kyle Roberts, and Sam Wetstein. Bunch of drivers did come down onto pit road. Some drivers getting some repairs. Some drivers just coming down to get some tires or some fuel in case this goes to a green-white checker. Boys on Razor's Edge, that's just racing. Yep. I mean, that's all you can really do there. You're running so close, just so fast. These things are on the edge of out of control. And the slightest bump in the wrong direction can cause a wreck. And fortunately, we only saw about 5 trucks involved. Normally, when you see a wreck like that, it involves a lot more. If you were watching the ARCA race on Friday night, you would have saw the one that I caused that wadded up about 35 trucks, or 35 cars. So it does happen. Yes, these guys do have one quick repair. I do believe, I'm just going to double check here that they only have one quick repair. Yep, just the one fast repair here tonight. So it looks like the lights on the pace truck are off. We're already going to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them. Josh Oswald on the bottom, Garrett Kinder up on the high side, then William Griffith and Kyle Roberts back in row number 2. Sam and Wetstein and Tia Swank back in the third row. In the fourth row, we'll find Kenneth Farmer, Mike Uribe, then Mike Veith, and Jason Lotridge. Your top 10. So a lot of names we normally don't talk about up here at the front. See Mike Uribe having a great run up here in 8th. We see Jason Lotridge up here in 9th. Kernan Church is up here as well. Ken Farmer having a great run up in 8th. So Talladega is an opportunity for some of these drivers who don't really get to see up front very often, have an opportunity to run well. And with just 21 laps to go when they take the green flag, it seems like a long time. We do have, almost a minute-long laps here. But it's not long. These laps click off pretty quick for these drivers. They got to find the holes and make the moves to get themselves up to the front. And we'll see that aggression really start to rear its head here in these later laps tonight. So here we go. Pace truck making its way on the pit road. Josh Oswald will lead him down to the restart zone, which is way down in the middle of the tri-oval here. Green flag back in the air. We are back racing here at Talladega Superspeedway, and a great jump for the 17. He's going to, that allows Kinder to fall down in behind the 17 here. Great move for Kinder, able to get down. We see the 77 of Mike Uribe also working his way down to the low side as these front trucks really in some trouble. It doesn't look like they are, but they are in trouble right now because that high lane is already formed up, and they're coming hard on the high side. The 35 of Kyle Roberts, the 66 of Tia Swank. We see the 48 of Jason Lotridge, who has some issues on pit road. Kernan Church up there, they are formed up on that high side. The 01 of Mickey Isaac making his way back up through the field as well. Now that bottom lane's starting to get formed up, but just not as formed up as that high side. Appears the two-truck hookup does not work like the next-gen cars did. No, these trucks do not tandem draft like we see with the next-gen cars. These trucks, they need like 3 or 4 trucks to really get a run going. The more trucks there are in a line, the faster that line is going to get moving. As we see that high line, it's starting to happen now. Tia Swank giving the huge push to Kyle Roberts. Kyle Roberts is going to get out in front, but he's not going to pull down in front of Josh Oswald. He's going to stay up there with Tias and Jason Lotridge and try to pull them along with him as well. Now Kinder giving the big push to the 17 of Josh Oswald, trying to keep that bottom line in check. And really, where Kinder is on the track, he can control this entire race. He can control that top line by giving a big push to Josh Oswald or laying off a little bit and let that high lane kind of come to the outside. He's really in the catbird seat. He's right where he wants to be. He can push Josh Oswald out to a lead and then jump up on that high side and get pushed around. Oh, we got one truck down to the inside. That's a Mike Veith. Not sure what just happened to Mike there, as he fell all the way to the back. See if we see what happened to Mike. He's already sideways here. Well, it looks like he got a push from the 79 of Josh Lokenvitz, and sent him down to the bottom. Now we've got a third lane forming up on that high side. Whoops, wrong button there. Oh, one truck up in the wall. Able to hold on to it, so that third lane not going the way he wanted it to. And up front, we got a battle between Kyle Roberts and Josh Oswald. Great view here from the iRacing blimp. Is now Jesse Necula up on the high side, trying to get that third lane running. He's got some help up there too. I believe that's Aaron Adcock and Tracy Passions back there. That's exactly what it is. So those two lining up on that third lane. Also, a couple more trucks trying to join the party up on that third lane. 47 of Josh Smith with a huge run up on that high side. So now we are 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 all the way through the pack. And it's going to make for some exciting racing here as they come across the line to come to 16 laps to go. This race ain't over by any means. 3 wide racing all the way around Talladega Superspeedway. That third lane starting to lose a little bit of momentum as that middle lane's got the energy now. Big push on Jason Lottridge, trying to move that 35 of Kyle Roberts out to the front. Kinder giving a big push to Josh Oswald. That's Aaron Adcock giving a big push to Jesse Necula. And really, at this point of the race, it's anybody's race. We might see somebody come from the back here, making it 4 wide to take the run. We see that big gap between the bottom and middle row, and that's going to be awfully appetizing to somebody towards the back of the field trying to make it 4 wide and stick a truck in there. It's easy to do. Try to make that move there, and hey, it's Super Speedway racing. You've got to do what you got to do right now. Jesse Necula just barely out in front of Josh Oswald. A big push from Garrett Kinder, gets the 17 out of shape. That's going to allow the middle lane to get a little more momentum. Now Josh Oswald gets it gathered up. He's going to get the big push back on the bottom. Here comes Jesse Necula with a push, trying to get himself back up front as well. Kyle Roberts pushing way up the track, trying to side draft that top row. And Jesse Necula and Aaron Adcock are clear up on that high side. Now Kyle Roberts making the run back through the middle. As Garrett Kinder looks like he might be a little hot, trying to cool off behind Josh Oswald as they continue to run 3 lanes deep all the way through the field. See a couple drivers a little further back, starting to bide their time a little bit. We see Josh Lokovitz back there. See Charlie Elmore back there. Drivers who can easily make their way up to the front with just a little momentum on their side. And we'll see if those drivers are able to push their way up through the field. As now Garrett Kinder and Josh Oswald get the big push. And William Griffith as well. And as the energy slides back to that inside row, trying to find a good view here of just what kind of energy is coming through here. They all line back up even. We come across the line this time. We will have just 12 laps to go. Jesse Necula hoping for that big push from Aaron Adcock. Now the middle lane starting to get some energy. We see the 48 of Jason Lottridge getting a little help here from Kernan Church. That middle lane starting to move forward. Garrett Kinder with the big push to Josh Oswald, but just not enough as that middle and that high lane starting to get something moving now too as Aaron Adcock with the big push up on the high side, getting Jesse Nekula even with Josh Oswald. As Kyle Roberts falls back just a little bit in the that's what I mean. This energy just moves from line to line to line. Whatever line can get the best push and get the most trucks lined up. Josh Oswald now on the bottom. He's going to have the lead to himself coming off the tri-oval. 11 laps to go. Jesse Nekula trying to run a little side draft off Mickey Isaac, trying to pull him backwards so that he can get that top lane rolling again. Garrett Kinder doing everything he can to keep Josh the Jet Oswald out front. Kyle Roberts with the big push from Jason Lottridge. Lottridge going to clear the 17, and they're going to stay in that middle lane. I thought they would have dropped down, but they're going to stay up there in that middle lane as Josh Oswald starting to move Kernan Church side to side, tail slapping it through the corner, able to hold on to it. As we are coming to just 10 laps to go. From the roof of Mickey Isaac, you can see just how tight it's starting to get here as the 22 Kernan Church. That truck is not handling very well, and you can see just how much that truck is sliding around. We see flames shooting out of the 12 as he's having to lift to keep from running into the back of Garrett Kinder. Kyle Roberts keeps getting the lead, but not pulling down in front of Josh Oswald. As Jesse Nekula now working that high side, trying to side turn. Oh, there we go! The big one happens! Cox up on their side. They are spinning. They are crashing. Yellow is out. And the big one strikes here at Talladega. Looks like about 15, 16 trucks involved in this one. And that's going to bring up our Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. Take me a minute to figure out where this one started. Take a view from the blimp and focus on the middle of the field here as we see Tracy Passons. So we were talking about that 22 just not handling very well before. So it looks like Kernan Church comes off the corner, pushes up just a little bit, catches the 53 of Tracy Passons. That's going to send him down into the 3 of Kernan Church. See Jason Lottridge get hooked. That turns Aaron Adcock into Sam Wetstein. Aaron Adcock almost goes up and over on his side. Mickey Isaac able to sneak through. But then you can see the mayhem and the chaos. Look at Alex Veith sneaking through there as well. As the field just comes piling through the tri-oval. Let's, don't want to go that far. Let's ride along with the 51 of Alex Veith so we can see exactly what he just saw at full speed. And the seas parted for the 51 machine there. From Kernan Church's view. You see, just washes up the track into the side of Tracy Parsons, and from there it is on. Gets hit again, adding insult to injury. I talked about it at the beginning of the show. It's not if the big one's going to happen, it's when the big one's going to happen. For these guys, it's struck on lap number 50. So a tough break for a lot of the front runners there. But you know what this is going to do? This is going to line up a couple teammates. You're going to have Garrett Kinder and Kyle Roberts lined up on that high line together. So maybe the two of them will be able to work their way up to the front, as when we restart, we should only have 6 laps to go. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, this is the Original Rebels Racing League on iRacing. As we're going to have 6 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. Don't forget, for everything Original Rebels Racing League, check out their website at the link below in the description, ORRleague.com, for standing stats, news, anything you need to know about Original Rebels Racing League, you can find right there at ORRleague.com. Speaking of .coms. Don't forget about IntensityBroadcasting.com. Where you can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, not just of Intensity Broadcasting, some of the famous sayings like the truck cars, as Joe Wright used to call them all the time. You've got Alex Viets kick the tires and light the fires. You've got the pucker moment, courtesy of Matt Knights, as well as a couple designs for your favorite leagues. I know we are working on getting more specific league t-shirts made, so again, support us here at IntensityBroadcasting.com. Of course, the champion of every league here on Intensity Broadcasting will receive a free piece of swag. So I've got my Intensity Broadcasting Flex Fit cap on right now. Very high quality and very happy with it. So check it out, IntensityBroadcasting.com. Well, here we go. Pace truck's getting ready to pull on to pit road. Josh Oswald is going to lead them down to the restart zone. And I'm surprised that Oswald didn't jump up to that high lane to try to separate those two teammates. But here we go. Start-finish line way past the exit of the Trialville. Green flag back in the air. We are back racing. Some wheel spin on the 17 of Josh Oswald. Garrett Kinder's going to tuck right out. Oh, almost loses it. Tucks in behind Josh Oswald, leaving Kyle Roberts, his teammate, high and dry up on that high side. But here comes Mickey Isaac trying to get up to the front here to give Kyle Roberts some help. Josh Lokovitz jumps up to the high side as well. Now he's going to leave Kyle Roberts to dry in that middle lane as Mickey Isaac is going to catch the back bumper of Lokovitz to try to make something happen. And the field really separated behind our leaders as Josh Oswald gets the big push from Garrett Kinder, Jesse Nekula, as we see some 3 wide starting to form up behind. And I'm surprised that Kyle Roberts hasn't tucked down to try to get a run, but he's going to get a push here from Charlie Elmore. Now that is Zach Wetstein going to tuck down behind and give a push here to Mickey. Sorry, that's Seth Griffith down on the bottom. Now Lokovitz up on the high side with Mickey Isaac. And who else is that back there? That's a 51 of Alex Veith up on the high side. Oh, Josh Oswald gets loose off the back bumper of Garrett Kinder. Kinder has to lift to let him back in line. That's going to allow both lines in front of him to pull out. Now Jesse Nekula and Kyle Roberts are going to tuck down to the bottom. That's going to leave Charlie Elmore stuck in the middle all by himself. Zach Wetstein is going to jump up to the high side. Now Kyle Roberts jumps up to the middle, trying to get back around Jesse Nekula. We have 5 laps to go here. Coming to 4 laps to go as they cross the line. And folks, we're back to 3 wide racing here at the front. Kyle Roberts able to clear Jesse Nekula. He's going to slide down to the bottom. Nope, he's going to slide down to the bottom, leaving Charlie Elmore in the middle all by himself. Now Zach's going to give a big push to Charlie Elmore as they come down the backstretch of the field, starting to get back into this 3x3x3 formation as they make their way down the back stretch. The battle continues here for the lead between Charlie Elmore, Kyle Roberts, Josh Lokovitz. Some contact between Roberts and Elmore. That's going to scoot Josh Lokovitz backwards. Now Lokovitz has the 01 back on the back bumper. And that third lane starting to get the energy, trying to move themselves back towards the front. So we have 3 laps to go. And Charlie Elmore is going to slide down in front of Kyle Roberts to take over the lead. That's going to leave Zach Wetstein in the middle. Josh Lokovitz up on the high side. Garrett Kinder falls all the way back into the 13th position as Josh Lokovitz has the energy and the momentum up on the high side. Is he going to cut a crowd across? No, Zach Wetstein has the momentum in the middle now, and the middle line starting to make some moves. And these drivers are coming up on some lap traffic. See the lap car. I believe that's Brett Grunwald pulling down out of the way. So lap traffic will not be a factor as popsicle sticks are up in the air. We have 2 laps to go here at Talladega. Charlie Elmore out front by a nose. Josh Lokovitz up on the high side. Here comes Zach Wetstein back in the middle with the push from, some contact. Zach Wetstein up into the wall. Another big one. Wetstein up over on his roof. Yellow flag is out. Charlie Elmore caught up in that as well. Garrett Kinder able to sneak through. Man, that's a heartbreak for some of these drivers who were getting some moves made, and that's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. That started right up front with Zach Wetstein, and we're going to pull up our handy blimp camera here, as it really allows us to see what's going on throughout the entire field. And, Josh Lokovitz gets a little loose, comes down into the 4 of Wetstein. He goes up and over. Alex Veith getting a little piece of that. Now he's going to get a lot more of it as he's the one who sends Wetstein up and over on the roof. There's Spencer Gay. Thought he was going to get through it. Mike Uribe. Mike Veith involved. You see Karen Church get a little piece. Aaron Adcock as well. And just behind him, we see more. There's Uribe coming back down across the track, finishing off Alex Veith, Jason Lotridge. We see the 11 of Gary Wright involved as well. There goes Ken Farmer up in the air, getting sliding around as well. One more view, I want to take a look at this. Let's ride along with Spencer Gay because he was able to see this whole thing unfold right in front of him. And yeah, real time, you can see just nowhere you can really go, nothing you can really do. Just innocent bystanders here. Here it is from Mike Uribe's view. Well, up front, Charlie Elmore, then Kyle Roberts, Tracy Passons, Jesse Nekula, Josh Oswald. Garrett Kinder finds himself back in 6th. Sam Wetstein in 7th. William Griffith, Mike Veith, and Kernan Church round out your top 10. And that's right. Ratchet Miller says, seen that coming. Kevin Kinder says, now the heart is pumping. And Ratchet Miller says, carnage. That's exactly what we just saw, was the carnage. That is Superspeedway racing. Tight racing, it's going to happen, absolutely. And you really can't fault anybody there, as it's just the product of the racing itself. Man, the intensity level is at max level. The Talladega fellas. Tyler Rice, you're absolutely right. It is Talladega tight racing here. And you know what else it's going to set up is the 3 most exciting words in motorsports. Green, white, checkered. So here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. Kevin Kinder is agreeing with Tyler Rice about the intensity at the max level. Charlie Elmore is going to be down on the bottom. Kyle Roberts in 2nd on the outside. Tracy Passons and Jesse Nekula round out row 2. And then Josh Oswald and Garrett Kinder in the 3rd row. Now, Kinder, there are 2 attempts at a green-white checker. 3 most exciting. Gonna need a wrecker, yeah. That's for sure. And, yeah, it'd be 2 green-white checker attempts if they don't take the white flag here. If the white flag comes out, the race will end under green. And as a super speedway guy, the place I want to be is right where Garrett Kinder is. 3rd row on the high side. To me, that's a race-winning position. Because you've got a lot of guys behind you that have nothing to lose. And you can jump up to that high side and hopefully, especially with Griff right behind you as well. Griff and Kernan Church. That's 2 drivers I'd want behind me in this position as well. I imagine Kinder will probably make a move up to that 3rd lane as quickly as he can to get himself in position to steal a win from that 3rd row. But here we go. Lights are off on the pace truck. Pace truck taking that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, refire them here. Tracy Passons down on the bottom, giving a push to Charlie Elmore as they come to the green flag. Green flag is in the air. Big jump for Charlie Elmore, and this is not a place where you want to get a big jump. And Garrett Kinder now has Curtin Church jumping up to that third lane. Garrett Kinder is going to stay right there, and Charlie Elmore's in trouble. Charlie Elmore's in a lot of trouble right now. You can see just how quickly the field is catching up. Kyle Roberts up on that high side. Big push from Jesse Necula as they come off of turn number 2. Garrett Kinder makes his way down to the bottom. I don't think that's where you want to be to win this race. Tracy Passion's giving the big push to Charlie Elmore. Griff not in a position to really help anybody right now. Josh Jet Oswald has Garrett Kinder behind. We see the 47 of Josh Smith jump up to that third lane. He's going to tuck in behind Sam Wetstein as they make their way off of turn number 4 down the short chute to the tri-oval. If the caution doesn't come out, we see the white flag. There will be just one lap to go. There it is. White flag is in the air. We have one lap to go. Who's going to win it? Charlie Elmore on the low side, getting the big push from Tracy Passions. Kyle Roberts up on the high side. Jesse Necula trying to give him the big push to the front. Sam Wetstein jumps up to the high side. He's got some help from Josh Smith. Can they get that third lane rolling up here, coming down the back stretch? Tight racing as they're doing some side drafting. Here comes Passions giving the big push to Kyle Roberts out to the front. Jesse Necula giving the push. Remember, the start-finish line is past the tri-oval, so we do have an opportunity for a last-second pass as... Oh, Kurt Church hard into the wall. Here comes Garrett Kinder jumping to the middle here with no help as they come down through the tri-oval. Can Garrett Kinder make something happen? He's trying to squeeze. Oh, he's going to turn Griff. Kinder turns Griff. We got him crashing here, coming to the start-finish line. Time to see who's going to win it. Kyle Roberts gets the win sideways across the line. Charlie Elmore comes home second. Jesse Necula in third. Excuse me. Kyle Roberts wrecking across the finish line to get the win. Let's take a look at this again. As we see, Garrett Kinder turned William Griffith there. That says, you see Alex Veith come back across the track, plows into the side of the 98 of Sam Westside, who had no idea is there. And as they come across the line, you can see Kyle Roberts sideways across the line. And, man. That's how much Kyle Roberts won the race by. What an incredible finish here at Talladega. Try to get a good view here as they came across. There it is. That is your winner right there. Kyle Roberts, your top 4 just mangled up here at the end. Kyle Roberts doing some victory celebrations with the blown motor at the start-finish line. And Kyle Roberts gets punted like a football at the start-finish line. Let's take a look at the results. Again, Kyle Roberts with the win. Reaper Racing getting the win here. Charlie Elmore coming home in second. Tracy Passions. It's showing Tracy Passions coming home in third. And Jesse Necula coming home in fourth. Kernan Church comes home fifth. Josh Oswald, Sam Wetstein, Josh Smith, William Griffith, and Mike Veith round out your top 10. Then Alex Veith, Josh Lokovich, Gary Wright, Christopher Heiner, and Christian Dedman round out your top 15. 16th, Tia Swank. 17th, Brett Grunwald. 18th will be Cody Bohm. 19th, Charles Stevens Jr. and Joaquin Meza. I'm sorry, Brandon Wallace round out your top 20. Joaquin Meza in 21st. Garrett Kinder falls all the way back to 22nd. Mickey Isaac, Zach Wetstein, Aaron Adcock, Micah Uribe, Jason Lotridge, and Kenneth Farmer round out the rest of the field here at Talladega Superspeedway. Your post-race interviews, as always, are brought to you by Thunderstruck Super Series. And let's see if we can pull in our top 3. Starting with our third place finisher, Tracy Passions. Tracy, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, Josh. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you doing with that heart-pounding action there at the end?
Man, I am wore out. I fell to the back to try to get out of trouble, and doggone it, we didn't get in trouble about halfway, and me and Aaron was ripping the high side trying to get to the lead, but we just couldn't get there.
Man, that last lap, probably one of the most heart-pounding laps I've seen in a while here at Talladega. You end up coming home third, kind of in the middle of the sandwich there. Can you walk us through that last lap, especially coming through the travel there at the end?
Yeah, I was going to push Charlie. He's our team mate on Poe Motorsports, and I was going to push him to the lead, but he got just a little bit loose coming out. And I said, well, if I stay in him, I'm going to spin him. So I chose to go in the middle, and we all met together.
Man, it was a wild finish for sure. And yeah, I kind of met all in the middle there. So the strategy tonight for you was to stay in the back, stay out of trouble, and be there at the end?
I was going to run up front and stay up front, and then when I saw them 3 wide and a bunch of mess going on, I said, I think I'm going to fall to the back, just see what happens. And I guess it turned out all right, but you don't never know in these plate races. Just one little mistake or somebody side drafting, you get too close, and it's all over with.
That is for sure. And the side draft here tonight we saw was working real good. You were able to draft yourself back up to the front. So the top 3 here at Talladega, that almost feels like a victory, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, sir, it does, because you could be at the very end on the record real quick here.
Yeah, I said earlier the most exciting words in racing were green, white checker, and somebody said it's going to need a wrecker. So you were able to get home P3 tonight. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Yes, sir, as always. I sure do want to thank you for sticking in here with us and broadcasting it. You do a good job, and Hall Heaton and Sheet Metal, and in memory of Ray Cobb and Smale Racing Design, and Chuck Pegleg. I finally got an award from him, so that was good. And I don't know how I done that, but I did. But my teammates over at Poe Motorsports and everything, thank them for all they do for me, and maybe next time we can do a little bit better.
For sure. And before I let you go, Paul Passons also said good job to you in the Facebook chat. So I just want to give you that shout out there.
Yeah, that's my daddy and my sister and all of them. Tell them thank you for watching and everything, because we enjoy doing this.
Well, again, congratulations. I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you, Josh.
So that was your third place finisher, Tracy Passons. Let's bring in your second place finisher tonight, Charlie Elmore. Charlie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh, how's it going tonight?
Man, it's going great. How about that wild finish at the end? You were kind of the meat in the sandwich there coming to the start-finish line. And I know plate racing, you kind of got to do what you got to do. I know you had your teammate pushing you there at the end, but you got a little squirrely and allowed Kyle Roberts to get back by you there at the end. Talk us through that last lap.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Kyle. He's a stand-up guy. He actually showed me a little bit about qualifying this place earlier today, and he's a good dude. I'm glad he beat me. Man, I really don't know. I got out a little far on the green-white checker, and I know they was going to run us back down, but Tracy was able to get back up to me, and I just tried to hold my line. And when we took the white flag, I was trying to stay straight for Tracy. And when we come off turn 4, that daggone finish line at this place is so far down through there. So much can happen in between it. And Kyle was fast, and shoot, Tracy was a pushing and got a little squirrely, and the rest is history.
Yeah, for sure. And that start finish line, we talk about it all night long. I know the joke was last night. Eddie Smith mentioned it quite a few times in the Cup race. But all in all, what was your strategy? Were you another one that kind of hung out towards the back at the beginning and wanted to be there at the end? Or I saw you pushing up front for quite a bit there at the beginning as well.
Well, what happened? I went in, and when we had the green flag stops, I missed my pit box and had to back up and get resituated there. Then caught back up with Kinder and Brent, a few other guys, and they just checked up. And then I rear-ended Brett, and sorry about that. I apologize to him. And shortly thereafter, Zach spun, and we got a caution. I was able to go in and get fast repair and get fixed back up and work my way back up to the front. But no, my plan was to try and stay up front. I like to be up front on TV. You know what I mean? And I just I had a mishap on pit road. It was my fault. Then rear-ended Brett and had to go in and get some wrenches turned and get back out there and get with it.
For sure. Well, able to get yourself back up to the front. Second place finish. That feels almost like a win at these plate tracks sometime. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Oh, yeah. First of all, we got Superior Electric on the truck this year. That's my brother's electric company, East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia. If you're needing any electrical work done, he's the call. You guys, Intensity. You, Josh, y'all do a phenomenal job. Appreciate that. Hall Heating and Sheet Metal. They're the sponsor of this series. We appreciate them being on board. And Justin Miller, he's got my paints on this year. He does an awesome job with it. Kinder Farm and Ranch, they do quite a bit for us. And Chuck Pegleg Phelps, he's not able to race with us. He's kind of doing a little different stuff on Sunday night, but we think about him. And Ray Cobb, he was a guy, a lot of people don't talk about Ray much anymore, or I've not heard him. And he was a guy that raced with us. He's a veteran, and he left us too early. And we like to try and remember our veterans that raced with us and can't race no more. That's important to us. But other than that, man, I'm good to go. Appreciate you guys again, and congratulations to Kyle and my teammates. Shoot, can't leave those guys out. Never hear the end of it. Aaron Adcock, Tracy Passions, Kyle worked with us a little bit. Dark Horse. We were rerunning with some Dark Horse guys tonight, and they're always fun to race with. They're always there. Just a good night. Just had a real good night.
Well, congrats again on the second place finish, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon as the playoffs start.
All right, Josh. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all very much. Y'all do a phenomenal job.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. So that's your second place finisher, Charlie Elmore. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Kyle Roberts. Kyle, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing well. Not as good as you're doing right now. Congrats on the win. I know on the chat we saw Friday night that the secret to get around this was being 8 beers in. So I got to ask, not tonight?
Not tonight.
But, man, that was a wild finish there. You came across the start-finish line in the meat of the sandwich and just barely getting that win over Charlie Elmore by, it looked like .008, according to my clock. Man, how did you get that run there, and what was the strategy there at the end to get the win?
Well, I just tried to run the middle lane, and Jesse pushed me. I know he's a heck of a pusher, so I just kind of stayed there and was hoping it'd end up. He gave me a pretty hard bump coming out of 4, and I thought I lost it. Man, what a good race was that.
It was, and I saw you Reaper Boys running up front for the first, I don't know, looked like 3 or 4 laps, and then you all dropped back to the back to stay out of trouble. Was that kind of the goal? You kind of saw things getting a little squirrely up front, and y'all made your way back towards the back?
Yeah, Kinder dropped out a couple of laps before I did, and I was leading the race at the time for a little bit, and I was like, then I got shuffled back. The outside line got by me, and I was like, this is not a good deal, so I'm going to do what Kinder did, and then we all lined up. It was all the Reaper guys. We got lined up and had a pretty good deal to where I thought that we could do whatever we wanted to do when it come time, and we got up there and made it work.
Yeah, and you guys nailed your green flag pit stops, came out with the lead there on those guys. So that's a great team effort there as well. And how hard is it? Explain to these guys watching how hard it is to go from 190 miles an hour down the 55 to get to your pit stall.
Well, it can be tough. I mean, especially when there's a whole lot of cars going in, because you don't know what how much braking the guy is going to do in front of you. And I mean, it gets interesting, and sometimes it's a whole lot easier to have a pit stall in the back than the front, like I did. But it worked out. I got down there and got out quick, and it was a pretty good deal. We come out, I think, 5th or 6th and 7th or something like that. May have been closer to the front than that. I don't remember right now off the top of my head, but everything just worked tonight, and all I can do is thank the Reaper guys, and I mean, it was a team effort for sure. It wasn't just me.
For sure. And again, great win tonight here at Talladega. Before we let you go, any other shout outs you got to give? Anyone you want to thank here tonight before we let you go?
Yeah, Whole Heating and Sheet Metal. Of course, in memory of Ray Cobb, he was a great guy that we lost, I guess, a year and a half ago or so. Still Racing Design, Sheena Emu Crypto. Of course, y'all at Intensity Broadcasting, Peg Leg, P&J Motorsports, Evil Empire, Thunderstruck, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Mill Racing Designs, BK Motorsports, and Cebulski Window Tinting. Great sponsors for the league, and of course Rebels. I mean, this is the best league out there.
For sure, and I second that. Some of the most respectful racing that we have in Intensity. So again, we want to congratulate you one more time, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
Hey, thanks, man, and thanks, Jesse, for the push. Couldn't have done it without him.
There you go. So there you have it, your winner here tonight, Kyle Roberts, getting the win here at Talladega. Got a couple other people we got a shout out here tonight. Josh Oswald. Josh Oswald is your Evil Empire SimSport hard charger, making up 18 spots, rolling off and finishing in the 6th position. Also want to throw out our Hard Luck Award as well. And I'm going to give that Hard Luck Award to Zach Wetstein tonight, as Zach was running up front pretty much the entire race. Unfortunately, things did not work out his way. He got caught up in something that really wasn't his fault. So, tough break for Zach, and I'm sure we'll see him back in a few weeks. Again, that's about it here. That's our broadcast here on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, we want to thank everybody who showed up tonight and stuck around for this fantastic race. Again, congratulations to Kyle Roberts with the win. Don't forget, check us out 7 nights a week on Intensity Broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to be stopping the Twitch broadcast for a little bit. We have some plans working out for that channel right now. So right now, you'll be able to catch us on Facebook and on YouTube. We have our goals that we're trying to reach: 2,500 fans on the Facebook and 1,000 fans on YouTube. So don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. It really does help us out. Don't forget to check out the Original Rebels Racing League website at ORRleague.com. There is a link in the description, so you can find that easily, along with a link to our web store at IntensityBroadcasting.com. Tune in tomorrow night for the Extreme Forces ARCA series. They'll be kicking off at 9:30 p.m. here on Intensity. Tuesday night, we've got our truck doubleheader with the Doghouse Racing League and the SCSRA as the playoffs get underway in the SCSRA in both the trucks and the Xfinity series. Thursday night is off for a couple weeks as Thunderstruck does take a little bit of a break. There will be no Xfinity race this week on Friday, so you can join us here again on Saturday night for the Cup race. Again, my name is Josh Hall. This has been your Original Rebels Racing League here on Intensity Broadcasting. And as our boy Atlee, Atman Weiss would say, over and out.